Today on Locked On Rockies, is Ryan McMahon finally heating up?
You are Locked On Rockies, your daily Colorado Rockies podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rock on Rockies fans, welcome into the Locked On Rockies podcast for today, the 22nd day of June in the year 2022. I'm Paul Holden, your host, and your Rockies fan extraordinaire, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk, lifelong Rockies fan, bringing you your daily Colorado Rockies talk here on the Locked On Podcast Network for over a year now. We've been well through this season and the off season together. If you want to see more about what I do, you can also find me at paulfholden.com, paulholden33 on Twitter. Today's episode of the Locked On Rockies podcast is brought to you by Sports Card Investor. Rockies fans, you're going to love this. Today's episode brought to you by the Sports Card Investor app. Welcome to the world of trading cards reimagined. Stay tuned later in the show for more information on this awesome new tool for collectors. You're going to want to check out the Sports Card Investor app, especially because it's going to relate to a player we're talking about today. So on the podcast today, but I guess also we are proud to be part of the Locked On Podcast Network and proud to be your first listen of the day back at Locked On Rockies HQ here, as you can see if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, which is a massive help if you do. The Rockies had a frustrating loss yesterday, and while it was frustrating, while it was a game the Rockies could have and should have won, the Rockies taking a big lead early, having ample opportunities. Feltner's meltdown in the one inning there, leading to another inning of 3 runs, kind of sinking the Rockies there. However, the Rockies bounced back, and the Rockies bounced back in a place that is incredibly difficult for them to play in. And so if you're going to look at a loss, as much as it's a bummer of a loss, as much as you can pinpoint things that the Rockies need to do better, you also can pinpoint the fact that the Rockies also did things well yesterday. They played good defense. They had clutch hitting. They scored a lot of runs. Unfortunately, the game just wasn't a complete package deal, which we've seen so many times. But when you're taking away from a loss like that, when you're going through the season in a June 21st ball game in Miami, you kind of have to look at that. And you kind of have to look at the fact that that was a pretty solid road performance for the Rockies. Again, not perfect, far from perfect, in fact, and you need more from your pitching staff there. Absolutely. The young guy got shelled. The Rockies, though, again, you give up the 8 runs in the 2 innings to make it a 8-5 game there heading into the 6th. Now you go back and you bounce back. You make it an 8-8 game in the 6th, and it's a battle there. It's just back and forth, and it's there. I also now see the Rockies not playing the cleanest baseball as well. I only caught half the game, so I didn't see all of it. But 4 errors on the Rockies ain't going to help get the job done, especially. I'm assuming that's what happened and doomed the team late. So maybe I'm a little bit too early. But again, when you look at how it is, there's stuff to like. There is stuff to enjoy about this performance for the Rockies. You just wish it could be more of a clean ball game. You wish it could be more of a way that the Rockies were able to just kind of dominate this one through and through as they did. Unfortunately, letting Miami get back into that one and seizing control. I am encouraged by things, though, and I think that is something that when you look at the bullpen going and Chacin comes in and gets out of and lets up the 2 runs, and Colomé isn't sharp. That the bullpen there is the big issues on top of 4 errors. But I am happy. I mean, you at least are happy with the offense. You're happy with the clutch hitting. And you're happy with Ryan McMahon finally taking some steps to show that he is an elite caliber player. The Rockies frustratingly blew that game yesterday for sure, but it wasn't because of Ryan McMahon. And that's a good thing to say. Ryan McMahon showed why he got the contract that he got. Ryan McMahon showed what he's capable of. And if this is what Ryan McMahon can contribute on a daily basis and get that going and get that consistency, That's going to be massive. In Ryan McMahon's last 3 games, he has gotten up to bat 9 times. In those 9 at bats, he's 6 for 9 there, and he's got the big home run as well. He's scored in 2 of those performances as well. Ryan McMahon also showing the leather, showing that he was someone, showing that he is an elite defender. That this is not someone that can't make those plays. He went to the school of Nolan Arenado. He was right there. And those were the flashes of the Ryan McMahon the Rockies need. Those are the flashes of Ryan McMahon the Rockies have been waiting for. And those are the flashes of Ryan McMahon that need to be consistent. Ryan McMahon, over his last 7 games, is batting .333, .448, .667, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 5 walks. Unfortunately, still striking out quite a bit. He's basically, at this season, seeming pretty good for a strikeout a game. At this point, he struck out 74 times in 66 games. He's striking out far too much. But in the last 3 games, 2 strikeouts over the last 3 games. You'll take that in addition to drawing 4 walks. That's a good split there, and that's a good sign that Ryan McMahon is seeing the ball better. Maybe he's just changing the aggressiveness, changing his approach a little bit, but the whatever shift he has made in his offensive numbers, it's clearly the change that we need to see from Ryan McMahon. We're going to go back again here. Let's keep going a little bit further back to kind of trace here. In the Cleveland series there for Ryan McMahon, ice cold still, but you get to see in the San Diego series when he comes alive for a massive, he gets 6 total bases in the Sunday and the June 18th game against San Diego, goes hitless, but then goes again with the 3 hits there. It's you're starting to see some signs of it. It needs to be longer. The sample size needs to get bigger, but that 7-day line for Ryan McMahon is what you want. We don't need Ryan McMahon to be batting .333, but we can't have Ryan McMahon batting .245. Can't have Ryan McMahon not being someone who's generating RBIs and getting extra base hits in terms of doubles. I'm not expecting Ryan McMahon to use the long ball all the time, but it's great to see that it's happening now. Ryan McMahon, these 2 home runs that he's hit in the last 7 games are the 2 home runs he's hit in the last 30 games. It's a massive swing in terms of offensive generation for Ryan McMahon. The big issue still being the strikeouts, but again, 8 hits in 24 at-bats, 30 he's basically going 1 for 3 in the last 7 games with an RBI in almost every single one of those games, 2 home runs, and 8 hits there. Yeah, so this is a good sign on top of the defense that we know is there. Seeing Ryan McMahon make those elite level defensive plays is going to be big for his confidence. It's going to shake off some of that rust of and frustration of his unfortunately bad start. Now you can remind yourself, I can make these plays. I can do this. I am someone who is capable of making defensive plays at the highest level. So again, incredibly frustrating on a lot of ends there, but if we're looking to break down things that the Rockies are doing and moving in the right direction, Ryan McMahon is one sign to be really, really encouraged by. It's something, it's not enough, I know, but over a 7-day sample, going 1 for 3, that's great. If we see the strikeouts go down while continuing to do this, it's continuing to show success on offense, continuing to draw walks, that's even better. Because I really do think the mental boost of Ryan McMahon having a game where 2 games now in the last 3 where he has been a huge contributor for the Colorado Rockies, I think is going to be a boost both on offense and defense. You're not going to win a lot of games with 4 errors, but again, it's a long season. The Rockies haven't played pretty baseball. They haven't gotten out of their way themselves. It happened again last night. But one positive takeaway is Ryan McMahon. And maybe you're sitting there at the, with your with your cards, right? You're a big Rockies fan. You got some of these cool Ryan McMahon baseball cards that you want to go check out. Maybe you got the autograph 2018 Topps Heritage Real One autograph there, and you want to see how much it's going for these days. Maybe you want to check out all the other cool Rockies cards and all these action. Well, I got the spot for you, folks. It is the Sports Card Investor app. There's over 100,000 cards in the app. And it's not just Major League Baseball. It's every sport you can imagine. Now, let's take a look at some of this Ryan McMahon. There's this card. It's tracking the daily price history of these cards. It tells you when the recent sales are. It tells you when these cards are, when they're sold, the price they were sold, and it tracks them. So, let's look at this. This Ryan McMahon one was sold at $60, and it's tracked its price there. If you want to look at these other ones, there's this crazy one, this 2018 Topps Heritage Ryan McMahon rookie auto. This one is an ultra rare card that they are showing you for $250. It's sealed in the case, and you can track the price, and you can be taking it. Not only are they going to show you where it is, but they also are going to have you help get you directed to where you need to go. Let's see. So these Ryan McMahon, there's so many cards. I mean, you all know how much fun trading cards are in the world today. They're big, they're huge, and this is the hobby's most powerful resource. Quickly check the value of your favorite cards, find great deals, and profit from the hobby you love. Especially, everyone's getting into cards these days. You might even have those cards that you've had forever, holding on for this exact opportunity. Well, guess what? The Sports Card Investor app is going to help you find great deals for the cards you want, and it's going to help you profit from the hobby you love. Available completely free in the Google Play and Apple app stores, the Sports Card Investor app is a must-have for baseball fans. Download the Sports Card Investor app today, available for free in the Google Play and Apple app stores, or go to sportscardinvestor.com/locked-on. All right. Diving into the live chat here, Eric Harper says, I have a lot of faith in Ryan. And, I'm glad we're starting to see that the faith is where we've seen Ryan McMahon have great potential. And again, when you're not asking, when we think Ryan McMahon, we've said this a lot on this show, Ryan McMahon's not going to be your power hitter. I just want Ryan McMahon to strike out less and get on base more. Even if it's just striking out less, swapping one more walk for strikeout, or or even if it's just putting the ball in play, that's better. You're seeing the ball better. You're taking aggressive swings when you need to. And now we're seeing the defense. The defense was really one of the big reasons why the Rockies love Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon was incredible on defense and has shown right there that he is also still capable of doing what we know he is capable of, which is elite defense. I mean, those plays were nuts last night, and those plays are massive. Those plays help fuel momentum. Those plays help keep players in the game. Those players help amp up your pitchers and your defense, especially when you're going through lulls of tough innings, really tough innings. Crooked numbers are tough. 5 runs in an inning are even worse. Wanted to shift focus here a little bit and head over to MLB.com. Will Leitch writes 5 guys who deserve more all-star support. And one of them listed is CJ Cron. He writes, being overlooked won't come as much of a surprise for Cron, who's been overlooked his entire career from Anaheim to Tampa to Minnesota to Detroit to now Colorado, but he has hits everywhere he has played. Here's a fun fact. He's 4 homers behind former MVP and current teammate Chris Bryant for his career, and he's having the best year of his career for the Rockies with 17 homers, 52 RBIs, and a .298 average. Sure, he's doing it for Colorado, which always makes people fly right past him on the ballot. Hate that. First base is stacked, no question. He's probably not passing Goldschmidt, Alonso, and Freeman or Matt Olson, but 8th is certainly too low, and I agree. CJ Cron is awesome. CJ Cron deserves all-star game votes, but that first base class is loaded. But I wanted to bring that up because to continue part of my conversation with Ryan McMahon. If CJ Cron can continue to produce at this point, if CJ Cron can continue to provide the thump in the lineup, a heating up Ryan McMahon coming back with Chris Bryant getting back in the lineup, mixed with these other pieces, you're starting to see again of why the Rockies were successful in April. Is it all going to pay off? Is it going to work? We're going to have to see. I mean, the Chris Bryant side is such a big question mark. We don't know what Chris Bryant being in the lineup for a month means for the Colorado Rockies. We don't know what that means for production from players. We don't know what it means for defense for the Rockies. But Ryan McMahon heating up at this point is the right time to do so. Leading in with Charlie Blackmon, also still having a pretty darn good stretch, still contributing for the team. He had a hit yesterday as well. And the top of your lineup that is still getting hits and still you can still turn to them and confident. Brendan Rodgers snapping a little bit of a slump as well, getting hopefully back in the swing of things with that double. The offense is going to have the weapons. Are they going to be enough? Are they going to be efficient? Are they going? I mean, it was really good to see that Rockies offense come alive and score runs last night consistently throughout the ball game. The Rockies scoring in multiple innings in Miami is a good thing. It's just a matter of is it getting to the point of too little, too late? And we're getting pretty darn close, I think. But we're not going to shy away from the potential swing of players getting into midseason form. If the Rockies are going to be a strong middle and second half team, they can make a good case for themselves. They've done that before and they've done that in the past. And again, that is it's headlined by Ryan McMahon heating up and getting better. Good 7-game sample size from Ryan McMahon. That could buy Chris Bryant some time, as the other players can kind of build around him, let Bryant get back into action. As long as I haven't seen anything that changes from his anticipated return for this weekend. But that is the other big importance of Ryan McMahon heating up. And he's going out and doing so, and being able to be the contributor and be able to be the complement piece to Chris Bryant. I think the Rockies had a lot of confidence with Ryan McMahon because they knew they had a player like Bryant and could build around with that, and thought McMahon's ability to, being a solid player is going to be someone that can be a nice benefit with Bryant. Those are a two pair. We don't know how the Chris Bryant pairing really works with anybody at this point. And now it'll be really good to see if Rockies players that need to contribute like Ryan McMahon are heating up and in a good place for them. One thing I haven't seen a lot of and want to talk a little bit more about is Austin Gomber was in the bullpen yesterday, but I haven't seen too much of why he was in the bullpen yesterday, and what the move was. Because they did. There's not much. I'm just kind of very curious about that. Obviously, it relates to Feltner, but before we dive too much into that, got to tell you about some of the other people that make this wonderful show possible. As the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people you want to interview faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonmlb. That's linkedin.com/lockedonmlb to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And folks, at BlueNile.com, you can celebrate all of life's special moments, from creating the custom engagement ring of their dreams to gifting a classic and timeless jewelry piece, all at prices you won't find at a traditional jeweler. Whether you're ready to pop the question or you're celebrating a milestone moment, find jewelry as unique as your favorite person with the modern convenience of online shopping at BlueNile.com. Blue Nile has simple online tools that let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft their perfect engagement ring. Each ring is one of a kind. If you have trouble picking out fine jewelry, like I would, if I'm being totally honest, Well, guess what? Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7, available on the phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every budget. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Locked On Rockies listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement. Use code Locked On. That's code Locked On. Plus, every order is insured. Ships free and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress-free and find your forever peace. Go to BlueNile.com today. So on Twitter and yesterday, I looked Austin Gomber, and all I see from the 19th is from Danielle Allentuck. Ryan Feltner starts for the Rockies Tuesday. Austin Gomber is being moved to the bullpen for now. And yeah, it's not good. I mean, it could be interesting. Like using Austin Gomber as a bullpen piece could be cool. It just really doesn't make me feel better about the way Austin Gomber got here. However, I really do think Gomber's pitch mix, and I do think Gomber's off-speed pitches, and I do think Gomber's curveballs are something that could be really interesting for the Rockies to use in the middle of games and to get multiple innings out of him. It's already here. He's already, he's being in the bullpen. The Rockies are already going for another starter. And Feltner, unfortunately, hasn't, I think we got 2 Feltner starts that have not been necessarily all that great in his last 2. Let me see here. 1 and 2, 5.46 ERA. Let's see. No, that's not true. Well, okay. 2 out of his last 3 starts have been, he kind of got roughed up a little bit. Great start there against San Diego, at San Diego there on the 11th, but in Atlanta or versus Atlanta got shelled for 7 hits, 6 earned runs, and the 3 strikeouts, going only 3 innings. And then in Miami, 3.2 innings there, 6 hits, 4 earned runs on the 2 strikeouts. Keeps the walks low though, which is good. That's a good sign. He's a young guy. Continuing to work on what he's doing. So the Rockies again like what they see from the young arm from Ohio State, and I don't necessarily hate I don't hate giving Feltner the option. It's just wow, whoa, Austin Gomber's in the bullpen now, and I'm not seeing much of a necessarily why. But it's just that's where we're at. I don't have breaking analysis. I don't have crazy stuff, but it's just like it's tough. It's tough there. However, some of these other prospects, some of the stuff, Montero is now up with the club as well. That's another move. We can't always just dwell on that. It's just kind of, it was just kind of like, whoa, I was kind of away this weekend. I wasn't expecting this. I didn't see a lot of mentions of this. And now here it is, Austin Gomber in the bullpen. So an interesting thing to monitor, but could still be a positive for the Rockies. Again, Austin Gomber's pitch mix does provide for a really interesting option out of the bullpen. Absolutely. But just something that caught me by surprise, and we'll continue to see about this development for the Rockies. But it's just one of those things. Like, again, I feel kind of bad. I'm not like giving you this deep, confound analysis of it. I really was surprised to see that. That was not something I anticipated happening anytime soon, but it is here, and it could be great for the Rockies. Could be a bummer for the Rockies. We will just have to find out and see. And Eric Harper in the live chat says, I really like Montero. I'm with you. Eloise Montero is great. He's got to get some playing time now that he's up with the team. I don't know what they're going to do. It'd be interesting to maybe see about McMahon into the shortstop spot for a little bit. Montero getting some time at third. Maybe Montero getting some time at short, and moving around. But Iglesias has hit pretty well. So is contributing. But the Rockies got to make sure they're getting Montero some playing time now that he's up with the team in one way or another. We'll be checking the lineups to see if he's in the lineup tonight. The Rockies are back in action, trying to to keep a series win alive, and they are taking on the Marlins, of course, yet again. Let's take a look here on it's Chad Kuhl versus Pablo Lopez. Kuhl really needs a nice start. He really, I think he needs to bounce back here. 8 runs in 7 of them earned in his last 2 starts. Lopez is 4-3 with a 2.5 or 2.85 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. And he has allowed one run or less in 7 starts, but in his last 3 starts, 6.48 ERA. So there's some interesting stuff to watch there. 2 pitchers clearly for the clubs that need to have a good solid performance for their teams. So we'll see what that means. The Rockies, again, playing in a place that they struggle. Here's hoping for a Rockies win so they can go and get that day game series win, get back-to-back series wins, and keep positive momentum moving. Folks, that's going to do it for today's episode of Locked On Rockies. Follow us at LO Rockies on Twitter. Follow me at Paul Holden 33 and subscribe to be so you know when we're live on Locked On Rockies, so you can get your questions answered. Pop into the chat just like Eric Harper did today. He closes us out with, no matter how this season shakes out, I think we have a lot of positive pieces going forward. Eric's always positive. We try to keep it positive as much as we can around here on the Locked On Rockies podcast. And we thank you for taking the time, tuning in today, and joining us here. We're free and streaming on all your favorite streaming services, also streaming on YouTube as well. Now that you made Locked On Rockies your first listen of the day, go out and make the Locked On Avalanche, Locked On Nuggets, Locked On Broncos podcast your second listen of the day, or check out all the awesome NBA draft coverage going on the Locked On Nuggets YouTube page as well. There's all sorts of NBA stuff going on in the Locked On Avs. Of course, keeping you updated throughout the whole Stanley Cup run. Joel says, I'm just stoked I finally caught the live show. I'm stoked you finally caught the live show too. And hopefully next time, Joel, we can get you in here with some more questions. But folks, until next time, I'm Paul Holden saying so long from the Locked On Rockies podcast.